Despite it being a shot that is rarely used on the tour, Federer believes more players should try it. Roger Federer at the ATP Finals. Photo by Alberto Pezzali. 20-time Grand Slam champion Roger Federer has become the latest player to weigh in on the debate concerning underarm serving. Underarm serving, which is rarely used on the tour, was placed in the spotlight earlier this week. During Nick Kyrgios' match against Rafael Nadal at the Mexican Open, he tried to use the technique to catch the Spaniard off guard. Nadal was standing well behind the baseline on that point. However, it proved unsuccessful for Kyrgios, who went on to win the match. "That's the only reason for doing it," Kyrgios said in a reply to the praise he received from fans on Facebook over the shot. "I mean, isn't the idea to serve where the person can't get the ball? Try to get an ace. Okay, now this match has had everything." At Alberto Pezzali at Nick Kyrgios @twitter.com/VPQXDXOV, Tennis TV, at Tennis TV, February 28, 2019, sharing his opinion about the technique. Former world number 1 Federer has backed Kyrgios' shot, saying players shouldn't be ashamed about using underarm serving during matches. Overhead serving is more popular because of the extra power it generates. Underarm is definitely a tactic, I believe. Especially when guys are hugging the fence in the back. From that standpoint, you shouldn't be ashamed if you try it out. You just look silly if you miss it sometimes. Why not try it? ATPTour.com quoted Federer as saying, "The problem is in practice, you never really try it. When you come out in the big stage in front of a full crowd, it is tricky to pull off." Who blames Kyrgios when goes for the underarm serve? Guy in purple is Nadal, not a line judge. Pic.twitter.com/STVK4M72VL, Fed Express. One of the most well-known as Michael Chang during his match against Ivan Lendl at the 1989 French Open. Martina Hingis also tried the tactic during her clash with Steffi Graf in the final of the same tournament back in 1999. Despite the negative reaction it may get from the crowd, the method is perfectly legal in the sport. Following his exit from the Mexican Open, Nadal said Kyrgios lacks respect for the crowd, his opponent and towards himself, although it is unclear if the underarm serve contributed to that comment. The unexpected war of words between the two players has since been played down by Kyrgios. "I'm different. Rafa's different. He can focus on what he needs to do," Kyrgios said. "He doesn't know the journey I've been through. He doesn't know anything about me, so I'm not going to listen at all." Both Kyrgios and Federer have reached the semi-finals of the tournaments they are playing in this week. On Friday, Kyrgios plays John Isner in Acapulco and Federer takes on Borna Coric in Dubai. The Australian blasted the crowd during his latest win in the Mexican city. Nick Kyrgios, Abierto Mexicano de Acapulco 2019. Photo Twitter at Alberto Pezzali. Nick Kyrgios has continued his strong run at the Mexican Open with a marathon 7-5, 6-7, 3, 6-4 win over 3-time Grand Slam champion Stan Wawrinka in the quarterfinals. The 2.5-hour clash saw the Australian withstood 13 aces from Wawrinka to reach his first semi-final of 2019 on the tour. Kyrgios had only won 2 matches this year coming into the tournament. Against Wawrinka, he produced 31 winners alongside 33 unforced errors, and broke his Swiss rival 3 times in the match. To come out there against Rafa yesterday and pull together that 3-hour performance after getting some food poisoning was massive, and to back it up against Stan, "I was cramping like crazy towards the end of the 3rd set," Kyrgios told the Tennis Channel afterwards. "I was just trying to scull any sorts of fluids, and just try to hit the ball as hard as I can, and it ended up working. Just stop it." An absolute bullet from it. Nick Kyrgios face screaming in fear. During the early stages of the match he was the recipient of booing from the crowd. During the opening game, he called for a medical timeout to treat his hand following a fall. Despite his hand bleeding, fans in Mexico were far from sympathetic.
What is F***ing wrong with these F***ing people? Kyrgios asked the trainer. There's blood all over my hand. What the F***ing do you want me to do? This is F***ing insane. Despite the boos, Kyrgios were unfazed during the match as he dropped his serve only once in the decider at a single break of the Wawrinka serve that guided him to the win, overcoming both cramping and receiving a code violation during the closing stages. I feel good, the world number 72 declared. Before this tournament I wasn't playing very good, I was struggling with injuries. To have two big wins, obviously Seppi in the first round is a good win as well. I just feel as if the year is kind of going back on track a little bit. So I'm feeling good. Kyrgios will play either John Isner and John Millman in the semi-finals. Should he win, he would progress to his first ATP final since January 2018. Zverev eases through embed from Getty Images. In the other half of the draw, second seed Alexander Zverev dropped only 3 points behind his first serve during his 6-4 win over Alex de Minaur. The German player produced 25 winners to Minaur's 4, and converted both of his breakpoint opportunities, extending his winning head-to-head record against the Australian to 4-0. We played 3 times last year and we're going to play many more times in the future. He's a great young player with a lot of potential, said Zverev. It's never easy to play him, especially after last night versus Federer, which was a very emotional match for me and the crowd. I'm happy to get through. Set to play in his first semi-final since triumphing at the ATP Finals last November, Zverev next takes on Cameron Norrie. Norrie, who is currently ranked 64th in the world, eased to a 6-3, 6-2 win over Mackenzie McDonald. The Brit capitalized on 35 unforced errors made by McDonald to progress to his first ATP 500 semi-final at the age of 23. It is amazing, it's going to be my first semi-finals of an ATP 500, I'm excited, said Norrie. Zverev is familiar with Norrie's game after playing against him during his teenage years. Between 2013-2014, he won 1 out of their 3 meetings on the tour, which was a junior event in Roehampton, England. Great Britain will host Kazakhstan in the Copper Box Arena in April in their World Group 2 playoff tie. At Fed Cup, Twitter, the Copper Box Arena will host Great Britain's historic Fed Cup World Group 2 tie against Kazakhstan in April. The venue was announced on Thursday afternoon as Great Britain prepare for a historic World Group 2 tie against Kazakhstan in April. The Copper Box Arena hosted some Olympic events in 2012 and has a capacity of 5,800 as Great Britain look to build on the momentum they picked up in Bath in February. It is located in Hackney, London, not too far from where Great Britain's Fed Cup captain, Anne Keothevong, grew up, and has stated the importance of April's tie. It's very special to come back to my home borough of Hackney, she said at a visit to Clapton Girls Academy. Having grown up and started playing tennis here, I never dreamt that one day I would be coming back and leading the British team in what is the World Cup of women's team tennis. Looking ahead to April, words can't describe this sense of anticipation we are going to have playing our first World Group playoff at home. Home support makes such a massive difference in sport, and we saw the impact the GB fans had in getting the team over the line in Bath recently. The tie is set to be Great Britain's first home and away home tie for 28 years, and Keothevong is looking for a big home support on Easter weekend. For the fans, I'm hoping that seeing our players perform what all they have got will inspire the next generation of kids to get out there and get involved with tennis. The tie will take place on the weekend of the 20th and 21st of April, with tickets expected to be priced at around £12. This match is expected to be close, with not much separating the 4 singles players involved. The world number 72 has recorded his first win over a top 5 player in 13 months.
Nick Kyrgios at the 2018 US Open, photo by Chrysaline Kyo, copyright at Sport Vision. Australia's Nick Kyrgios hit back at a suggestion from Rafael Nadal that he is immature, after stunning the 17-time Grand Slam champion at the Mexican Open. During what was a roller coaster clash in Acapulco, Kyrgios saved 3 match points before prevailing 3-6, 7-6, 2, 7-6, 6, over the world number 2. During the marathon 3-hour clash, the 23-year-old fired 21 aces past Nadal, hitting 58 winners to 49 unforced errors. The victory is Kyrgios' most high-profile win, in terms of ranking, since defeating Grigor Dimitrov at the 2018 Brisbane International. "I've had a tough year so far. I've struggled with some injuries and I haven't been playing well," Kyrgios said during his press conference. "I love coming back to Acapulco. It's one of my favorite tournaments of the year. I had a good match against Seppi yesterday and I knew that if I won the match I would most likely play against Rafa. I love playing Rafa, he's an unbelievable champion. I love going out there and playing big matches." During the opening set, it was feared that the Australian might be forced to quit. Leading up to the match, Kyrgios has been suffering from food poisoning. Nevertheless, after dropping the opening set he saved all 9 break points he faced and battled back from a 3-6 deficit in the decisive tiebreaker by winning 5 points in a row. "If I forfeit, the media will blow it up. I'll be booed off the court," Kyrgios was heard on TV telling the trainer. "I'm gonna try to play a couple of more games." Nadal, who was playing in his first tournament since the Australian Open, gave a mixed assessment of Kyrgios' latest performance. It is the first time the Spaniard has failed to reach the quarterfinal of a tournament he has played in since the 2017 Canadian Masters, excluding Davis Cup and ATP Finals. "He is a player who has a huge talent, could be winning Grand Slams or fight the first position in the ranking, and something is where it is. He lacks respect for the public, the rival and himself," said Nadal. "I'm different to Rafa." Embed from Getty Images. During his press conference, Kyrgios was annoyed by one question that was asked. One journalist quoted Nadal as saying in his meeting with reporters that the former top 20 player can be immature at times. Kyrgios is known for his at times controversial behavior on the tour and was briefly suspended for unsportsmanlike conduct in 2016. "I'm different. Rafa is different. He can focus on what he needs to do," Kyrgios responded. "He doesn't know the journey I've been through, he doesn't know me. So I'm not going to listen at all, that's the way I play. That's the way he plays. He's very slow between points and the rule of the book says you have to play at the speed of the server. But Rafa has the speed every time. I'm not going to comment on him and his game. I've got my game. I'm not going to take that." Nadal's comment into consideration at all. Asked about what he needs to do to get to the top of the sport, Kyrgios admits that he needs to work harder and be more disciplined, paying tribute to all members of the Big Three by saying they are playing at their best ever level. In the quarterfinals, Kyrgios will take on Switzerland's Stan Wawrinka. The 3-time Grand Slam champion edged out Steve Johnson 7-6, 5, 6-4, without dropping his serve. Wawrinka was recently runner-up to Gael Monfils at the Rotterdam Open. "It's going to be a lot of fun," Kyrgios previewed. "Stan is a multiple Grand Slam champion. He's an unbelievable player. We have played each other 5 times before, he has beaten me 3 times. It's going to be a good match." Kyrgios' latest win is his 16th over a top 10 player in his career.